Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're taking a road trip through decades of one man's gouage. Donald Trump has been in the headlines for business, politics, and pretty much everything in between. But long before any of that, he was just a young real estate guy with a serious taste for fine automobiles. This is the story of Trump's car collection, told car by car, and the order he actually collected them. Grab a coffee because we've got a lot of ground to cover. 1956 Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud. Where it all started. Let's rewind the clock. Long before The Apprentice, long before Trump Tower, there was a young Donald Trump who bought himself a 1956 Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud. This wasn't some hand-me-down family car. It was one of the very first vehicles he ever owned. And by most accounts, it meant a lot to him. Under the hood was a 4.9-liter inline-six making round 155 horsepower, which sounds modest today, but back in the mid-1950s, a Silver Cloud was the definition of old-world luxury. Trump loved this car so much that decades later, he reportedly had Rolls-Royce build him matching recreation just to keep that feeling alive. It's a nice reminder that even billionaires have a soft spot for their first ride. 1988 Cadillac Trump Golden Series Limousine. Fast forward to the late 1980s, and Trump is now riding high at the peak of his real estate empire. This is when Cadillac and Trump teamed up to build something wonderfully over the top, a custom stretch limousine known as the Trump Golden Series. As the name suggests, this thing came loaded with gold fittings inside and out, trim, hardware, you name it. Cadillac never released official specs on this one, since it was a bespoke, one-off build rather than a production model. But the story alone tells you everything about Trump's taste in this era: bold, unapologetic, and dripping in gold. It's very 1980s Trump, and honestly, that's exactly the point. Cadillac Allante, the gifted gold convertible. Around the same era, Trump picked up a Cadillac Allante, a two-seat convertible Cadillac built to compete with the Mercedes-Benz SL. It came with a 4.6-liter Roadster V8 producing 295 horsepower, 290 pounds-ft of torque, a 0 to 60 time of about 6.4 seconds, and a top speed of 140 miles per hour. With an original price tag around $64,090. Here's the fun part. Because Trump had become such a loyal Cadillac customer, the brand actually gifted him his own gold-painted Allante. The Allante itself wasn't the sales hit Cadillac hoped for, but as a personalized gift to one of the most recognizable names in America at the time. It's a pretty memorable footnote in Trump's collection. 1997 Lamborghini Diablo, the blue supercar Urano. We jump into proper supercar territory. Trump owned a blue 1997 Lamborghini Diablo, and he was actually photographed on multiple occasions personally filling up its tank in South Florida. A fun detail, since most people assume men in his position never touch a gas pump. The Diablo packed a 5.7-liter naturally aspirated V12 making 523 horsepower and 446 pounds-ft of torque, capable of 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.8 seconds and a top speed of 199 miles per hour, with an original price of roughly $211,050. What makes this one extra interesting is that the Diablo was among the last Lamborghinis built before Volkswagen Group bought the struggling Italian brand from Chrysler, and every one of them, including Trump's, came with a proper manual gearbox. 2003 Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren. For the golf bags, Trump is a well-known golf fanatic, and that might explain why he added a Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren to his collection the very year it debuted, in 2003. This was a genuine joint effort between Mercedes-Benz and McLaren, packing a 5.4-liter supercharged V8 with 617 horsepower and 575 pounds-ft of torque, launching from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.8 seconds and topping out at 208 miles per hour. Reports say he paid at least $452,500 for it. Funny enough, despite being a full-blown supercar with butterfly doors, The SLR was actually practical enough to fit 2 golf bags in the trunk, which, for Trump, might have been the real selling point. Ferrari F430 F1 Coupe, the one that got away somewhere along the way. Trump also owned a Ferrari F430 F1 Coupe, powered by a 4.3-liter naturally aspirated V8 making 483 horsepower and 343 pounds-ft of torque, hitting 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4 seconds flat and topping out at 196 miles per hour. A car like this ran around $200,000. F430 holds a unique place in Ferrari history too. It was the last entry-level mid-engine Ferrari to ever offer a proper manual gearbox before the 458s switched exclusively to dual clutch. Trump eventually parted ways with this one, sending it to auction, where it later resurfaced as a piece of presidential automotive history for collectors. Tesla Roadster. The surprising early EV pick. Here's a twist almost nobody expects. Trump was an early Tesla owner, picking up a first-generation Tesla Roadster years before Elon Musk became a household name tied to his campaigns. Built on a modified Lotus chassis, the original Roadster used a rear-mounted electric motor producing 288 horsepower and 295 pounds-ft of torque, hitting 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.7 seconds with a top speed of 125 miles per hour. And it originally sold for about $98,950. It's easy to forget just how ahead of its time the first Roadster was. And the fact that Trump had one in his garage long before EVs went mainstream is one of the more unexpected chapters in this whole story. Rolls-Royce Phantom, coming full circle. Not long before his first presidential run in 2016, Trump was spotted driving a newer Rolls-Royce Phantom, bringing his collection full circle back to the brand that gave him his very first car decades earlier. This Phantom came with a massive 6.75-liter twin-turbocharged V12 producing 453 horsepower and 531 pounds-ft of torque, doing 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.3 seconds and topping out at 155 miles per hour. With a price tag when new of $398,970, combined with his original Silver Cloud, estimates put the pair at a combined value of over $500,000. It's a fitting bookend, starting and ending his personal driving days with the same iconic British badge. 2011 Chevrolet Camaro SS, the almost pace car. Here's a quirky one. For the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500, Trump was actually invited to drive the pace car, a Chevrolet Camaro SS, packing a 6.2-liter naturally aspirated V8 with 426 horsepower, 420 pounds-ft of torque, a 5.2-second 0 to 60 time, and a 155 miles per hour top speed, priced around $31,070 new. But the plan fell apart. Trump was already flirting with a presidential run, announced his intentions shortly after, and the invitation was pulled. Rumor has it he went ahead and bought a Camaro SS anyway. Pace car duties or not, Cadillac Escalade, the long-running favorite to throw all the supercars and went off gold builds. One vehicle has quietly stuck around, the Cadillac Escalade. Trump has reportedly owned one since the very first generation launched, making it possibly the most consistent vehicle relationship in his entire collection. Given his taste for performance, it's widely assumed his current Escalade is the highly powerful Escalade V, packing a supercharged 6.2-liter V8 with an eye-watering 682 horsepower, 653 pounds-ft of torque, a 4.4-second 0 to 60 sprint, and a price point around $152,295. And given his surprising early adoption of the Tesla Roadster, some outlets speculate he might even be open to the new electric Escalade IQ down the line. The beast, not owned, but impossible to ignore or have to end with this one. Even though technically Trump doesn't own it, nobody does. The Beast is the informal nickname for the United States presidential state car, a heavily armored vehicle commissioned by the Secret Service and built by General Motors at a rumored cost of around $20 million. It can reportedly seat 7 weighs somewhere between 15,000 and 20,000 pounds, and borrows styling cues like Escalade headlights and a grille reminiscent of the Cadillac Escalade concept. There's also a bit of irony here. Ever since taking office in 2016, Trump, like every president and vice president since the Kennedy assassination in 1963, has been barred by Secret Service policy from ever driving himself again on any road, public or private. So in a strange way, this final vehicle in his story is the one he'll never actually get to drive. So there you have it. From a sentimental 1956 Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud all the way to a 20,000-pound armored state car he can admire but never drive, Donald Trump's automotive journey is honestly one of the more colorful collections we've covered on this channel. Gold-plated Cadillacs, a blue Lamborghini Diablo, and early Tesla Roadster. It's a lineup that really does mirror the different chapters of his life and career. If you enjoyed this deep dive, let me know in the comments which car on this list surprised you the most. Hit that like button and subscribe if you want more car history breakdowns like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.